So in this video, I'm going to go over the review for 3.1 to 3.3, the quiz. This first one wants me to evaluate the function when x equals -1. So what that means is I am going to plug in -1 for all of my x's. And then I want to go ahead and type that into my calculator exactly as I just wrote it. So this first one gives me -1. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for my second equation. I'm going to plug in -1 for x. So I'm going to go ahead and type that one again into my calculator. Oops, I think I typed the wrong negative in the spot. Yeah, I did. There you go. This one gives me -12. This one wants me to describe my end behavior. So if I look, it's a negative even that opens like this. So I have my things written on the other side. This one is saying as it goes to the left. This one is saying as it goes to the right. So as it goes to the left, the function is going down. I represent that by -infinity. As it goes to the right, the function is going up. I'm going to represent that by infinity, and I think on the test, you need to write the positive sign out front. Number 4, this one is positive and odd. So that is going to look like this. So as it goes to the left, it is going down. And as it goes to the right, it's going up. I wrote this last one wrong. So on this first one, it was going down on both sides. I don't know why I wrote the positive. Okay. Number 5 wants me to find the sum or difference. So this one has a plus sign in between, so I'm going to combine like terms. I have 8x to the 7th and nothing to combine that with. Then I have 15x to the 6th with nothing to combine to. I have -6x to the 5th, positive 4x to the 5th, which gives me -2x to the 5th. Then I have 4x cubed and -3x cubed. That gives me 1x cubed. I have -6x and nothing to combine it to. And then I just have my 2 at the end. So here is my final answer. The next one, I have a minus sign in between, so I want to go ahead and start off by distributing that negative out. Everything before it is going to stay the same. So this is going to become -3x to the 4th, positive 5x cubed, -9x, -3. Then combining like terms, I'm going to have 12x to the 4th minus 3x to the 4th. That's going to give me 9x to the 4th. I only have one cubed term, that is 5x cubed. Then I have one squared term, that's -6x squared. I have 2x and -9x, gives me -7x. And then I have 14 minus 3, which is +11. Okay, numbers 7 and 8, or 7 through 10, want me to find the product, so I'm going to multiply. I can either FOIL or I can use the box method. For the first one, I'm going to show you using the box method. So I have 3x squared minus 6x minus 5. I write each of those as a column, and I keep the sign for each of those. Then I have x squared and 2. If it's positive, I don't have to write it. If it's negative, I write the sign. So then in each box, I want to multiply. X squared times 3x squared is going to give me 3x to the 4th. X squared times -6 gives me -6x cubed. X squared times -5 gives me -5x squared. 2 times 3x squared is 6x squared. 2 times negative 6 gives me negative 12x. 2 times negative 5 gives me negative 10. Then I want to go ahead and combine my terms. I only have 1x to the 4th. I only have 1x cubed. I have a 5x squared and a 6x squared, so that's going to turn into a 1x squared, or just x squared. I have a negative 12x, and then I have the minus 10 at the end. Number 8, this is the same thing as saying 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 5, because that's what the exponent means. It's being multiplied by itself twice. Then I want to go ahead and I will, on this one I'll FOIL it out. So I have 2x times 2x gives me 4x squared. 2x times 5 gives me 10x. 5 times 2x is again 10x. And 5 times 5 is 25. Now from here I want to go ahead and combine my terms. I have 4x squared. 10x plus 10x is 20x. And then I have 25 at the end. On number 9, I want to multiply the first two together, get my answer, and then take that and multiply by the last one. So I have x times x gives me x squared, x times 3 gives me 3x, negative 3 times x gives me negative 3x, negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. I still have the 3x minus 1 at the end. I want to simplify this first one. That is going to turn into x squared minus 9. My middle terms cancel out. So I have two terms in both of these that I'm multiplying together. X squared times 3x is 3x cubed. X squared times negative 1 is negative x squared. Negative 9 times 3x is negative 27x. Negative 9 times negative 1 is positive 9. And then I have nothing I can combine, so this is my final answer. Number 10 is a lot like number 8. I'm going to write it out twice. I have 3x minus 2 times 3x minus 2. I'm going to go ahead and FOIL. I have 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times negative 2 gives me negative 6x. Negative 2 times 2x gives me negative 6x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. And then I want to combine, so I get 9x squared minus 12x plus 4. On my backside, I want to factor. So this one, everything is divisible by x. I get x times x squared minus x minus 12. So I'm looking for what multiplies to negative 12 and adds to negative 1. This is negative 4 and positive 3. You could switch the place of those two and it would still be the same answer. Over here on number 12, everything is divisible by 3 and they all have at least 4 ends. So I'm going to divide everything by 3n to the 4th first. I have 3n to the 4th times n squared minus 11n. I don't know, 72 divided by 3. 24. Okay. So I'm looking for what multiplies to positive 24 and adds to negative 11. This is negative 3 and negative 8. On 13, this is using the sum of cubes. So this one is a cubed plus b cubed is going to equal a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. And while I'm writing this out, 14 is going to use the difference of cubes. That is a cubed minus b cubed equals a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So, on 13, I first want to identify my a and b. This is taking the cube root of both of those. My a is x. My b is 4. If I'm not sure, I can always do math. And then choice 5 has this x in the radical. Then I would do 3. And then whatever number I'm looking at to get my cube root. So then I'm going to plug in. I have x plus 4 times x squared minus 4x plus 4 squared. And I just want to rewrite that. 4 squared is going to turn into 16. Same thing for 14. I want to take the cube root of this, that is going to be 2x, and then the cube root of 27 is 3. So I'm going to plug in. I have 2x minus 3 times 2x squared plus 2x times 3 plus 3 squared. And then I want to simplify my second set. So I have 2x minus 3. 2x squared is 4x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x. And then 3 squared is 9. On 15 and 16, I want to factor by grouping. So I want to split these into two groups and look for what each group has in common. My first group has y squared. So I'm going to pull that out. I have y squared times y minus 3. My second group, I can divide out 4s. So I'm going to put plus 4, and then I have y minus 3 again. Then notice the inside part is the same. And I have some numbers on the outside. So I'm going to do the opposite of the distribution property to put those together. So this is going to give me y squared plus 4 on the outside, and then y minus 3 for my inside part that was repeated. I want to factor this if I can, but because it's a plus 4, I can't go any further. If it was a minus 4, then it would be a difference of squares. So over on 16, same idea, split it up into two groups. My first part can get x squared taken out. I have x squared times x minus 6. My second group, I always want to make that leading term positive, so I'm going to divide both of them by negative 9. That gives me x minus 6 again in the parentheses. So now when I put them together, I have x squared minus 9 from the outside. And then on the inside, I have the x minus 6 parts that are going to go together. I can factor x squared minus 9. This is going to be x minus 3, x plus 3, and then that x minus 6 stays at the end. Okay, number 17. It is like a quadratic in that it has 3 terms. So I'm going to first start looking for what multiplies to 28 and adds to 11. That is 7 and 4. Then what I do here is I take half of my exponent. So I'm going to do n squared for each of these because I'm splitting it into two groups. So I'm going to divide my total exponent by 2. I can't go any further because these are pluses, so that's my final answer here. 18. This is like a difference of squares, so I can take the square root of both of those. My a value is going to be y squared, and my b value is going to be 4. So it's going to give me y squared minus 4 times y squared plus 4. This one is again a perfect square, so I can split it up. I'm going to have y minus 2 times y plus 2 for this first term, and then y squared plus 4 for my second term. 19 says a rectangular pool has a level floor. The length of the pool is 3x minus 1 feet, and the width of the pool is x plus 6 feet. The depth of the pool is x plus 6 feet. So what I want to do here is I want to write an expression for the volume as the product of binomials. So I'm just going to take this and set it equal to y. I have 3x minus 1 times x plus 6 times x plus 6, because I did length times width, and this is height. Oops, close that off. This is just a product of binomials. B wants me to write it in standard form, so I'm going to actually go ahead and multiply this out. So 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 6 is 18x. Negative 1 times x is negative x. And negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. I still have this x plus 6 term at the end. Then I want to go ahead and simplify this. So I get 3x squared plus 17x minus 6 times x plus 6. I'm going to go ahead and distribute again. So I have 3x squared times x, which is 3x cubed. 3x squared times 6 is 18x squared. 17x times x is 17x squared. 17x times 6 is 102. Then I have negative 6 times x is negative 6x. Negative 6 times 6 is negative 36. I want to go ahead and combine like terms. So I have 3x cubed is the same. Then I have my 18x and 17x squared, which are going to give me 35x squared. I have 102x minus 6x is 96x. And then I just have this negative 36 at the end.